Welcome back to a recap of The Real Housewives of New York, episode 10, Nautical by Nature. And guys, this is not a girls' trip. I repeat, this is not a girls' trip. This girls' trip is not serving. I would not have want to be welcome to this girls' trip because the girls are not having any fun. Where is the fun? I felt like this whole episode, it was just, okay, let's pick on Jessel. Let's try to have some funny moments, but there was a lot of miss. But at the end of the day, I know I do not want to be in between a situation where Uba is pointing her finger down at me and trying to tell me something because Uba, I was so nervous for you, sister girl. Sister girl, you scared me. You scared me, but I stand by you because Erin was doing a little bit too much. I understand Uba and her feelings in that moment, but man, I was not expecting her to get angry over this. Possibly angry over food, but over this, ooh, let's get into this recap and let's talk about it. So I felt like there was a lot of scenes that we didn't get to see. So I'm wondering in the unseen footage that we will see when a new episode come out, that we would see what happened. Because honestly, I felt like where we last left off, Bryn decided to not go to the dinner because of her issues with Aaron, and the girls had like a little late night session, but that session wasn't necessarily filmed and shown the next episode. What we saw is like a little clips here and there, but I felt like it was a little bit so uneventful that I guess production decided not to air it out as a main scene, which makes me nervous because guys, this is a new group. We're getting to know these ladies. We cannot already have no moments, okay? We are still getting to know you guys, so I feel like there should be moments ready to happen. But I felt like the ladies were really, 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 really trying, and I felt like Erin was trying to really produce a moment in which did not work in her favor. Girl, you are not looking good this season. I know we heard some things about her and how she votes, which, I'm not judging, but I'm judging because, we know about that whole situation with Mr. Blonde wig, okay? So this season is not looking good for Erin, and I can't wait for this reunion, at least for her to address some of these things. Now, when Erin went on to Watch What Happens Live, I thought, they were really nice on her. They were giving her softball questions to ask. They asked her softball questions, and I felt like she gave softball responses. So I felt like, okay, she's not under the pressure cooker yet, but girl, her time is coming. I feel like her time is coming, and she may not come back next season, giving how the reunion goes. So we're holding out to see how Erin handles the rest of this season. But y'all, Erin, let's give me. Let me know that in the comments below how you feel about Erin. What I didn't like about this episode is that Erin got a majority of the girls to be on top of Jessel and her coming her about her story, like what you went through in life. And I felt like they kind of set her up for that because I felt like the ladies, they were sharing their personal experiences, and when Jessel shared her personal experiences, the ladies either felt like it was not good enough or it didn't happen. And I felt like they're trying to just poke at this and make this into something it's not. I feel like whatever Jessel wants to share is what she wants to share, because I know Miss Erin, she don't spill too much tea. Like, for example, what happened in the White House, she is quick to withhold information and have us believe, oh, it can be true, it could be not true. But when it comes to Jessel and she's sharing, something, what she wants to share, it's a problem because they feel like she's not saying enough or she's not telling the truth. I feel like it's so hypocritical of Erin and also these ladies. Now, Sai is working my nerves. Girl, we do not need to hear everyone do a sob story. And I know that she just wants Jessel to be herself. But the way she's coming about it, I don't know. I don't like her energy. Now, I did enjoy Sai when she was with her husband. I feel like her husband is such a treat, such a joy. I feel like he gives her some sort of likability, because I just remember their conversation and how, her experience with the girls, and she's sharing that to her husband. And her husband was giving legit advice. And I'm like, I think we need him. We haven't haven't seen him now in 2 episodes because of this girl trip. But I think for us to like Sai, we need her man. Her man and Sai, it's a double duo that I like to see. But Sai on her own, I don't know. I don't know. And also this narrative that, Sai keeps pushing that, Jenna Lyons need her to influence. Girl, Jenna Lyons is the influence, okay? She is the influence in fashion, okay? You're just the influencer, okay? Which is nothing wrong with that, but I feel like they keep putting down Jenna Lyons, and I don't like that, and I just want them to back away from our girl Jenna. Now, throughout this whole episode, Bryn has been, keeping it mute. She's not too activated, but she has been, hitting on our girl Jenna Lyons. She is feeling Jenna Lyons, and I feel like it's because, in this whole girls trip, the girls haven't gone out to see the locals, to see the men. I feel like what was missing from this girls trip is the ladies out and about in Anguilla, taking up the vibes instead of being cooped up in that house. Now, the house was beautiful, but I felt like the trip was very lackluster. Not enough activities, not enough fun. It wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. So obviously the tension for Miss Bryn was throwing it all on Jenna Lyons, especially on that boat when she's just licking Jenna Lyons' finger. I'm like, girl, that is too much. That is too much. That's too much. She needs to chill. She needs to relax. We need to match Bryn to somebody. But what we did learn is that from Watch What Happens Live, Erin shared with us that she's actually helping to set up Bryn with 3 different people. The co-hosts, the co-guest on Watch What Happens Live, the name is not coming to me, but he mentioned, and I felt like he had some sense in this, but he said that he doesn't think Bryn is actually serious in finding an actual husband. Rather, she's going to really enjoy this new fame, this new limelight that she's receiving, this attention that she's receiving, and that she is going to, be focused more on that than actually having a family. Now, that concerns me because I can totally see this being true. But, I feel like we still getting to know Bryn, and Bryn has, to reveal herself more to show what's her true intentions. Because I feel like she could do both. She could enjoy the limelight and also work on her establishing a real relationship where she wants to proceed into a marriage and have kids. Because we're rooting for our girl Bryn, okay? We're rooting for our girl Bryn. So let's put out that positive energy out there. Now, this whole debacle between Aaron and Uba started because Uba, she was being fun and playful and she pushed Aaron into the pool. Now Aaron thought, okay, this is game time. Now I have to get my revenge, which I think it's fair. I feel like, if you push someone to the pool, you are now making yourself open to be pushed to the pool too as well, or some form of body of water. Now, this, of course, is making our girl Uba very stressed out because she doesn't know when it's going to happen, and Erin is holding that over her head. And throughout this whole trip, which I mean, it's fun. It was funny at first, but I felt like after that, nothing much more came about from this girl's trip, but the whole focus between when's Erin gonna get her revenge on Uba. And it turns into a thing where Sai is like, enough is enough, and Sai takes it upon herself to push Uba into the pool. Now, of course, Erin, she chooses not to be satisfied with that, which honestly, I wish she was satisfied with it. I wish she was satisfied with that so we can drop it and move on and get into this girls' trip. But she does not. She says and makes it very clear that, Sai pushing Uba into the pool is not satisfactory enough for her revenge. She still needs to be the one to execute this punishment. And I'm like, girl, sister girl, this is too much. This is supposed to be fun. Keep it light, keep it fun. I felt like, seeing Uba into the pool, she was like a wet chicken when she got out. She was just like shaking her little boots. I'm like, poor child suffered enough. Now, of course, Erin, she is still plotting her revenge, so she decides that the best strategy to get back at Uba is not pushing her to a pool, but taking her phone away. And I'm like thinking to myself, why would you do that? Some people, the phone is their lives. We have our credit card information, your banking information. You have access to your kids this way, your lovers this way. What else? You pretty much everything circles around the phone. The phone is life, okay? And who knows why Uber was truly upset, but at the end of the day, after filming is done, she has her phone to like really reconnect to the people outside of this. So we see, Uba throughout the night walking around the big house looking for her phone, and she's asking the other ladies to help her, which, makes it more serious for her to have her phone back. At that moment, I felt like, Erin should have just dropped the joke and give her back her phone. But no, Erin kind of punishes Uba, withholds her phone, and then when Uba finally gets her phone, she is not happy at all. She's actually, I understandably would be cranky because, she's up at night. The model needs her beauty rest. She was up all night looking for this phone for Erin to have held it as a joke. Now, Uba did not find this joke funny whatsoever. So, of course, we are getting the wrath of Uba. Now, Uba has been such a good friend to Erin. I felt like, Erin, that was such a gracious gift to receive from Uba for your vow renewal, which was diamonds. And I thought that was so luxe, very kind of Uba. Now, to do this to this friend, I felt for you, but the way you acted and treated her as if she was actual threat, I think that was a little bit too much. I feel like, I don't know, maybe you had to be there to experience that moment, because I kind of felt like how angry Uba was, but I felt like Aaron's response was a little bit too much, given that this is your friend who got you diamonds for your vow renewal. Certainly you shouldn't be afraid for your life in this situation. Now, Uba did cross boundaries by touching the sunglasses off and pulling it off from Aaron's face. That's a no-no, because some places that's fighting. That's how you start a fight. But I love our girl Uba. I love our girl Uba, and I felt so bad for her. I felt like, okay, this is a teachable moment for Aaron to know that, okay, it was cool and fun to push each other into the pool, but sometimes jokes can go a little bit too far. And I think this is an example of that. So I felt like, what a way to end a girls' trip that wasn't a girls' trip, okay? Now, throughout this whole episode, I feel like, even though everyone wants to go and jump on the hate train for Jessel. Not a hate train, but a bashing session on Jessel. I feel like Jessel was the most fun this trip. I feel like Jessel was able to open up and share, her funny moments and be vulnerable to the girls, whether they like it or not. Okay. Bryn, she was like a little bit, off on her own, wanting to do her own thing. She did have funny moments where she's eating in bed, some late night snacks, and then waking up and trying to hide the evidence. That was a little bit fun to watch. Sai, I don't know when she had fun this whole trip. She did not have fun this whole trip. Now, Jenna, she did her thing, but I felt like her mood probably was a little bit off because the ladies kept poking fun of what she was wearing when they would go out onto the boat, which I feel like, okay, the joke was funny at first, but at some point you gotta let it go. Let her be how she wants to be. I couldn't be around people like that. Like, we're supposed to be friends. Like, if you see me like at a pool and I'm wearing a cover up, there must be a reason. Back off and just be supportive, okay? Mind your business, okay? But the ladies, every time an opportunity they got, they poke, a little joke out around it. And I'm like, guys, that's enough. But honestly, this girl's trip was a bust. Okay, so I'm wondering what's gonna happen next. We did see a little bit of a preview, and the preview did get very much spicy. I know there's a lot of resolution that has to happen with Aaron and Uba. I look forward to seeing that. So we're still getting to know these girls. I still have an open heart, open mind. But guys, can we have fun? Bring back the fun. Bring back the fun. And the fun, not let's hurt someone's feelings type of fun or poke at their insecurity. Let's not do that. And also, can we have a episode with no sob stories? Let's do an episode with no sob stories, please. That's one of my greatest wish. Okay, so guys, I want to know what you guys think of this episode of the Real Housewives of New York. Let me know down in the comments down below. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I appreciate every one of you for taking the time to listen to my reaction. And as always, share as much kindness as possible. Bye, guys.